Welcome to British Business, The Bottom Line. Every week, me and Matt sit down to talk about the real stuff, the news affecting your business, the lessons we've learned the hard way, and the things nobody tells you when you're running your own show. Whether you're just starting out or you've been at it for years, this one's for you. I'm Charlie Smith.
And I'm Matt Holland.
Let's get into it.
Did you hear me just scrape the stool across the floor then during the intro?
It was good. It was really good sound effects, that, mate. I enjoyed that. Yeah. So can I just want to start with something. Listen to last week's episode, Charlie's first stab at doing the show notes and the topic and the everything. I think you did a great job, to be honest with you, mate.
I think what are the stats saying?
Yeah. Not sure about the statistics. Don't really pay attention to that. But what I would say is that I think I was a terrible co-host for you. I had technical issues. I kept on interrupting you. It made me laugh. I went for a walk last night around Saint Germain, where I'm staying, and yeah, it just it was funny because I wasn't very helpful. So yeah, it made me laugh a little bit. So I apologise. So
you're all fine, Buzzy.
I'm putting a formal apology out because I really messed up the start of your episode. So I'm sorry, mate.
We're back to normal now. Back to our usual position.
Yeah, and I did have. It was quite a good episode last week. It made me laugh a little bit with Jacob now sponsoring us. It was solid, that, and we have an updated version of the soundtrack.
Do we?
Yeah. We've got some backing music that's been added.
Oh, I am excited for that.
So Jacob got his. Well, it's actually public information now. He put it out on his newsletter. Do you get Jacob's newsletter?
No, I don't.
So he's now got a business partner, James Martin. Yeah, so he's a bit of a shark, a whale entrepreneur, someone who's been around the game a little bit, very well established. So yeah, lots going on with him. That's, I think, at the moment. Yeah, with Jacob. Yeah, but yeah. So how are you, Charlie? Charlie Smith.
Right, mate.
How are you, mate?
Been through the ringer. Just managed to ship everyone out the door. Summer holiday still, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah. Another 2 weeks? Must be 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. I'm actually looking forward to getting back to the UK. I've started to miss it.
Yeah, a little bit of a buzz to come back.
Yeah. I feel very reinvigorated and ready to crack on.
But I've had everyone else.
Yeah, I have had a very productive period though out here. It's been really good for me, I think. And I was just looking through my diary. I've got two diaries. I've got my work one, which I just put like shorthand notes in from bits and pieces with work, but then my personal journal as well. And I was looking and I was thinking, fucking hell, I have actually done quite a lot of good stuff the last few weeks, which has been been nice, yeah. So, yeah, looking forward to it. So, should we get into it? Is there anything else you want to add?
No. Any questions? Anything good? Because I was a little bit late coming here when I messed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, actually, in reference to that, I asked a good friend of mine. I said to him, "Have you got any, just out of interest, mate? Have you got any feedback for me? Is there any observations that you make about my character that that's questionable?" And he said two things. The first, I'll tell you. The second, I won't. The first thing he says, "Well, I suspect your punctuality and timekeeping isn't great, because when I listen to the podcast, Charlie's always making these accusations that you're late." But the hilarity this morning is I've been sat here waiting for an hour and 10 minutes? Is that right?
Yeah. Hour and 10. All kind of went to shit this morning, to be honest with you. But
what was crack-a-lacking?
Just trying to get kids out the door. The twins to nursery, always challenging. Yeah. We're having a bit of a nightmare with the car situation, so we're down to one vehicle.
Yeah.
Down to one vehicle and a robbing of a van from work to get me from A to B. So it's been a bit of a nightmare strategically. So getting them out the door with their toast and grapes and whatever else they wanted to go out the door with this morning. Whilst it has started to trickle down with rain, actually, which is quite interesting and exciting.
Yeah,
probably not enough.
I've noticed that on our paid advertising, and our just general site traffic, it started to tick on. Conversion rate has increased.
Mental.
So,
But you still had a bit. You still had a bit up your way, haven't you?
we've had a drizzle of rain in France, but obviously the UK it started to rain a little bit.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like
north though more than south. We've had shit all.
Really,
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, I reckon it's like something like nine weeks of no rainfall.
I mean, you're that far south, you're basically French anyway, aren't you?
Yeah,
Let's
oui,
be
oui.
honest. Yeah.
Oui, oui.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Bonjour.
I'll tell you what, I didn't realise it, but the Bordeaux, La Rochelle area where I'm staying, it was England for 300 years.
Bloody right it was.
Yeah, hey up, I didn't know that. This tour guide in Bordeaux was telling us about it. I was like, fucking hell.
Do we want it back?
Well, I think maybe we should consider it. I think
Get some nice vino come from there, don't you?
Well, that was. Do you know what's the interesting thing? It comes back to taxation. All of this. So, when it was a part of the English kingdoms, if you like, or it was to the English crown, you had that region, and it was obviously a wine region. But the English loved French wine, so they were importing wine from Bordeaux, and Bordeaux were obviously exporting it. But there was no duties or taxes because it was a part of the English crown, part of the English kingdom. Whereas when you export goods, historically going back to that medieval period, just like there is today, there'd be like kind of export duties or import duties. But basically we had the French, we had 100 years war with the French, and what it led to was this scenario whereby the French crown effectively eventually recouped that area, but they immediately put export tax on the Bordeaux region. So the Bordeaux people, they were like, whoa, this is a nightmare. We're selling wine to the English crown. They still want to sell to the English crown, but we're having to pay the French king all this tax. So that for a very long time, this region that I'm saying, they really resented the French crown and they wanted to be a part of the English, like sat underneath the English crown. So yeah, very interesting. This French tour guide that was doing history at Bordeaux Uni was telling me all about it. It's fascinating.
Fair dues. We still likes a bit of wine from the old Bordeaux region as well, don't we?
It's incredible down there, yeah. I'd encourage anyone to do a little bit of a road trip through France. I was chatting with a guy that I met at a James Sinclair event. I can't remember his name, which is terrible.
I hate it when you do that.
Yeah. What's his fucking name? I'll find out.
I'll have to cut that out. That's terrible.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he sold his business last year. He had a 3PL business. He was just sick of having to deal with fucking customers and what have you. So he sold it, and he's basically just traveling around Europe surfing now. That's what he's doing. So I was like, fucking, it made me laugh. But, yeah, there we are.
Legend.
My show notes have just drifted off. 1 second, mate.
Yeah, you get them back.
Yeah, I'll just get them back 1 sec. It's probably going to happen a lot because I'm on the iPad set up. So, yeah, I did a mileage claim this morning, mate.
You did a mileage claim?
Yeah. While I was waiting for you, I just sorted that out. Bosh.
Just like that.
Yeah, it was quite good.
What
Used
are
Claude.
you paying back for? Going to France and back?
No. What do you mean?
I don't know. How many miles have you done recently? That's what I want to know. You've been away for bloody...
No. Well, I've not done a mileage claim since last year, like early 2025.
Oh, I see.
But-
Mr. Organised there.
The last time I did one, it took me about 4 hours because I do it once a year normally. So you have to go through all your journeys. My car has like a journey recorder, so it records wherever you get. And then you have to cross-reference it with your calendar and produce a document, send it to your accountants, a load of fuckery. Anyway, just exported the CSV file, downloaded the previous 3 claims I've made, chucked it in Claude and said, right, can you convert this into a mileage claim and cross-reference it with my calendar? It's done it in about 20 minutes better than I had historically. So massive time saving there. Yeah, I was. I mean, for people listening, like, why the fucking hell the podcasts are getting dry? They're having to talk about mileage claims now. Must be getting desperate for topics.
But hey, you're using AI to advantage, aren't you? Right?
little time hack, that definitely.
I
it's
hate
good.
all those things as well. Those things that take fucking ages. The trouble is
Well,
I
I-
end up just pushing them back until it's too late.
Well, I haven't done one since fucking March 2025.
When your
So it's been
last tax return was due.
yeah. So it's been, well, you don't have to do it. Yeah, I've just not done it because I couldn't be fucked doing it. So I should get someone else to do it. But AI did it anyway. It was very fast and efficient. Anyway, should we get into it?
Yeah, please.
So the title of today's episode, episode 84, B2B or D2C, which would you build again? So we're talking about two different business models: direct consumer business, selling to lots of customers, small average order value, or a B2B business where you're selling to a smaller number of customers but with a much higher average order value. And this stems out of a little Alex Hormozi reel that I saw. I know you're a fanboy. You've mentioned him a couple of times. You mentioned him last week as well.
Yeah.
And he was doing one of his classic. Do you know what? Just as a little tangent, I would really like to go to one of his little seminars that he does in the US. I think I'm definitely going to do that at some point.
$100,000.
No, not to attend one of the.
$100,000 to be one of those people that flies out. 100,000. I've seen a post from a woman that said she's booked for 7 months' time. She said the return on investment she gets from doing that is tenfold.
That's a one-to-one with him. Whereas,
she flies out to do something with him.
Yeah.
We've got to find this out now, haven't we?
Yeah, well, you can attend his open seminars.
When he's got people in the room.
$1,000. Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. Anyway, this British guy asked him a question. Basically, this British guy's got a B2B business doing office fit outs, 180 million quid turnover.
Fuck.
Average order value, 5 million quid. So he's like very specific, very, very specific customer base. Very interesting, I thought. But he basically asked the question, how do I grow it more? Do I focus on the sales? Because he does cold calling, or his team do cold calling. And Alex Hormozi was kind of like, well, we can review the queue, but we haven't got time to do that here. Maybe you should invest in a bit of a one-to-one or whatever. He kind of mentioned that. And then he was like, well, and he gave this example of this door company, Alex did, similar type of business, but US based. And all they did was they had a sales queue that they would follow for the cold callers. Have initial round of cold callers, and they have something called closers. And the closers would have a queue that they'd follow. But they added this question in, which was, because it's basically a security door company for your front door. And they didn't have a question saying, how many doors would you like to have security doors fitted for? It was just the presumption that people would always be only interested in their front door. So then immediately overnight, this business, the average order value increased by something like 160%. And he was like, it was just because of the inclusion of this, where people were selecting, rather than just presuming it was one door, they were doing 5 or 6, and it was specifying how many internal doors and whether you want your back door doing, etc., or your yard side door. I was just like, fucking hell, like, for a business, and that security door company was doing, I think, over $100 million US. And then this guy that was doing the office fit out was like, yeah, wow, that's interesting. But I suppose the reason I thought it was interesting was the high average transactional value or order value. And I was just like, fucking hell, 5 million quid for an office fit out. But if you could get them to, how easy would it be to drag that up to, say, 6 million quid? Probably not that difficult. I don't know. That was my immediate thought anyway.
Yeah, it's all on a scale, isn't it? It's like, you think, like, even if your average order value is 100 quid, to scrape it up by 25%, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's all relative, isn't it? I think that is one of the joys of working in a B2B business. But it does mean that you have to work really, really hard to leverage that.
Yeah.
You can't just ignore it.
I mean, we're basically, as a business, May, June, July, we typically break even. Normally every summer. May this year we made money, just because we've added a bit of a different product mix. And then June and July, we broke even. One of the big challenges we have during this period is our average order value drops as the weather gets warmer. People are wearing shorts and t-shirt and stuff like that. And then as we head into the autumn period now, average order value starts steadily increase. But interesting, as soon as the weather's changed in the UK last 3 or 4 days, average order value straight away has just gone up, which then means revenue goes up, orders go. It's just like this compounding effect. So average order value just makes a massive difference to our business. If we can tweak it up over the years we have, it makes a huge difference to the bottom line, because you're packing the same order, but people, so the warehouse still got a pick, pack, dispatch, customer service team have still got to reply to the emails, etc. So it just makes you a way more efficient business, if you like. But yeah, I mean, do you have any thoughts on any of that? I've just done a very big monologue as usual.
So are you going straight in and asking me what the question is? Asking me the question: Would you rather a B2B or a B2C? Would you build a B2C? No,
we're gonna slowly build up to that, mate. We're gonna do a bit of foreplay right, first, if that's okay, because we're not going straight in.
Let's just do the foreplay, baby.
A bit of ASMR or whatever.
Right, go on then. I'll hold my thoughts until we get to the shebang.
British business fact of the week. So this is like a fact connected to what we're talking about here, and probably one of the negatives of what I would describe as a B2B business. We have touched on it briefly before, but I just think it's a good context point. So British business fact of the week. We're open to sponsorship opportunities on this segment.
We haven't done the one segment we do get sponsorship on.
Well, all you would need to do is just record something, proudly sponsored by Workwear Innovation, and you've got it squared away, mate. Like, you just got to pull your finger out.
All right.
Bosh.
I can have that one, can I?
I'll allow that, yeah. Right. I'll allow that. Proudly sponsored by. You can't rip off Lockwood's script one for one, obviously. You reckon you do it better? That's what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Well, the gauntlet's down by the sounds of it. British business fact of the week. UK businesses are owed an estimated £26 billion in late payments at any given time. That works out at around £17,000 for every business affected, and 86 hours a year of staff time spent chasing the money. Perhaps the most telling number of all, 15% of businesses now refuse to trade with specific customers purely based on how they pay. And the source is the Office of the Small Business Commissioner, Late Payments Research.
That's been a problem forever.
Yeah.
That is the sole downside of being B2B, I think, because I think everything else is rather positive about doing that. But that, when it comes to it, the reality is you need to get paid for the work you're doing, and that is probably particularly in our business, bearing in mind that we've got the combination of 30 days end of month for things like office stationery and supplies for your business, and then there are some account customers who will specify it that in order to work with them you have to work on X days. It's a difficult one to manage, and it's the biggest thing that hurts kind of your cash flow position, I think.
Interesting.
We've talked about that before. Is that basically the reality of the way we operate at the moment is that we end up being someone's bank.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do as a business, literally. So I use my suppliers as a bank. We're operating on a partial just-in-time basis. It's great. It's great for cash flow. You're on the
other side of where we are, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And we negotiate very hard for good terms. So we've got 60-day terms on with a lot of suppliers now. But interestingly, just to touch on this topic specifically, and then we'll flip back to the broader B2B side of things. One of the things I notice is that some suppliers, what they do, what I see in the market is, and it's a dead giveaway, is we see these suppliers sometimes, they'll be using something called Biffy Financial Services. And what that typically is it's for wholesale B2B businesses with terrible cash flow, where what they're doing is they raise the invoice and they get the money off Biffy, and then they they get paid straight away, and then Biffy chases the customer for payment. And I just think it's a really shit sign.
So you're effectively factoring.
Yeah, so factor finance, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, what percentages does that cost? It must be like 3 or 4%.
Yeah, there are. I think you can get some good deals. I mean, some of our suppliers use like HSBC Finance will offer that sort of service, and then there's quite a few other people that do. Lots of people do use it.
I just think it's lazy.
I've always been of that opinion. I've always been of that opinion as well, because people have suggested it to me in the past, and I'm like, I reckon you're basically accepting defeat. I reckon if you start down that path, you're already tight on margin as it is. You already need to be competitive on price to be able to give some of that away. I think it's a slippery slope. It's my own personal opinion, but I'm sure it works absolutely fine for quite a few businesses where they're doing chunks of money.
I just think it's ridiculous. Like, if you're netting maybe somewhere between 5 and 15% net profit as a business, and then you're giving away 3 or 4% on factor finance, it's just absolute madness. I'm just like, I don't know. It just seems a bit ridiculous. And I think as well, like, when I see good suppliers managing their cash flow, the way they do it is they offer a discount to their customer, which is probably less than what they would have been charged by factor finance. So they might offer like a 2% early settlement discount. So if you settle within 7 days of invoice receipt, you get 2% off the invoice, rather than giving 5% to factor finance or whatever it might be. So there's definitely ways of managing it, in my opinion. We've lost Charlie's audio. He's had a bit of a meltdown by the looks of it. So yeah, we'll wait for him to hopefully sort his technical issues out. It's funny, isn't it, how last week it was me with the technical problems. He's smiling now, and then, oh look, Charlie can't hear you, mate. Still can't hear you. This is great. So solo podcast today, guys. I mean, for anyone listening, it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think about the B2B side of things and the direct consumer side of things. If you've got any thoughts or ideas, be sure to give us it direct in the comments. And I'd be interested to know if anyone has had any experience of having to pay people like Biffy Finance, because that's I just think it looks really shit as a business. The fact that you have to that you're getting paid. Your customers are paying someone else, and then you have to, and then you get the money off them. It's just shit. So I don't know why people use it, but anyway. Are you back, Charlie? Right. I think what we're going to have to do, guys, we'll do a little cut, and then we'll be back shortly. Cheers. Together.
Oh God!
And we're back, baby. We're back.
To edit that now. Oh no!
So for everyone listening, Charlie's had a major technical issue there. I mean, the listeners won't have heard that kind of.
No, what happened was though, I was getting excited about something, and I threw my hands, because I do that. I talk with my hands sometimes when I get excited, and I've knocked the mic cable, and then it's gone bang. You're recording another session. It won't let me change the microphone. Yeah, so I'm like.
Anyway,
back to it.
Yeah, back to it. That's waffled you properly, hasn't it? It's like throwing you off. It's good.
No, it's not throwing me off. It's not throwing me off at all. We were talking about finance. We were talking about small businesses. We were talking about late payments.
Yeah,
we were talking about all those things that are negative about being in a B2B business.
Yeah, it's not easy. Should we do win of the week?
Yeah, go on then. You go first.
Well, first we've got to do something else, haven't we?
Brought proudly by Lockwood Clothing is the win of the week! God bless. God save the king.
That's quality. I'm not sure the timings quite work with what he's saying, but it's a good backing track.
Are you criticising his editor?
Yeah, I am.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he can come at me in the comments for that if he wants to. It's fine. I know he'll get to this stage in the podcast where he's listening, so he will hear it, and I know that he will comment as well. So that's fine. I can take that.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I think it's a good recording, but obviously we're waiting for the British Business Facts of the Week sponsor Workwear Innovation to come up with the goods. So we'll see.
Yeah,
see how that sounds.
Can I just say one thing before we do? I see.
Oh, here we go.
He done another video. He knows I love this, but he done another announcement video. Did you see that at train station?
No.
So, oh my god! For anyone that hasn't seen before, Jacob likes to tell everyone about Lockwood Clothing, which is obviously fantastic, but he is so proud and passionate about it, which I fucking love. But the best thing that he does is he does this thing where he stands out on the top of a balcony or a bridge in a train station, and he shouts to them, "Excuse me, I've got an announcement to make." And he tells everyone about Lockwood Clothing, and there's all these people just turning around looking at him in complete awe and despair, probably, and shock and horror at him announcing it. And do you know what? I absolutely love it. I love it. It's so good.
Do you know what I'm just writing down? Jacob birthday present. It was his birthday this week. And I'm going to get him a belated birthday present. I've got a really good idea.
Nice.
Interlinked with what you're saying there.
I bet it's a megaphone.
Fuck's sake, Charlie.
Hello?
You just spoiled it because I'm going to have to act super quick so it arrives.
You've got a bit of time. Oh, no, you haven't got a lot of time.
No, because obviously this will come out. And I was thinking in my head then I'll get it branded up with Lockwood Smocks. Can you do some Lockwood Smocks stickers?
I don't know if we're going to be able to do it before this comes out.
Yeah, fucking hell.
There's it today, Wednesday.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll order a megaphone on Amazon, get it delivered to you, and you can get some stickers printed.
Fine.
Oh dear, because that's what he needs just to level it up even more. Could you imagine? I mean, that's a bit dangerous, isn't it? Equipping Mr. Lockwood with a megaphone.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. Great content.
Yeah, great content, exactly. Anyway, what's your win of the week, Charles?
I've got quite a few. The main win of the week is that loads of people listening will be like, "What the fuck? You've not done this. You've not done this previously, and you've already badgered me this week for it." But we have transferred our accounting system from Sage to Xero / in the process of doing it.
Oh, well done. Well,
I reckon this business has been going for 20 something years using that program. Viv has worked in our business for 26. She worked with my dad as well. Back when it was all like handwritten ledgers and whatnot, when they first started. Might have been 28, 29 years ago. But she's been using Sage ever since, and she was a little bit apprehensive about it. But we've done it. We've made the change. That is a huge win, by the way.
Well, I mean, you can do a lot with Sage anyway, but it's just a bit shit.
It's a bit shit and it's a bit clunky. And I just think the integration with some of the things that we use. So, for example, like the system we use to manage all our production, invoicing, quotations for all our clothing integrates with Xero, and we've never had it. We've had that system for 3 years. Everything we've done has been manual. So then that process is just ridiculous, and it gets to a point where it's like we cannot carry on anymore. And it's been pushed back on the back burner, on the back burner, on the back burner. We know we need to make a change. We haven't made a change. And then, God bless him, Tom said to me the other day, he said, "I'm going to make the change." So he implemented the change. So he took that away from me, which is also another win, because ultimately most of the time financial stuff is on me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm doing it." So he's done it. We've used Claude a lot with the migration, with the transfer, which has been
good,
cool, really cool. You got plugins straight into Claude as well, which has also been really, really cool to see. And it comes off the back of us trying to take a bit more control of our financials, our reporting. We've done a lot of work in the background with Claude around some of our key KPIs, but what we've never really done is been on top of our management accounts. We're always that little bit behind. It's quite a big plunge for us, and one that I'm very, very excited and very glad we've taken. So that is a big win for us, that one.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, I love that type of business development activity where you're improving systems and processes, and linking back to those challenges with customers not paying you on time. I think Xero is really slick because you can set up automated rules. So, and you can also set up custom payment terms for certain customers as well. So you can have your standard 30 days, or you can do 7 days. You can have a payment link in the body of the email where they can pay on card. There's loads of different things you can do. You can link it into Go Cardless now. You can do all kinds of stuff. So it's so when the invoice is created, it automatically charges Go Cardless. So you end up paying a percentage point there, but there's lots of different things you can do. And then you could. I just love it. I love Xero. I think it's fantastic.
I think even just the timely reminders is one for us, because again, sending out that, setting rules. The terms obviously we've tried to enforce, but then a lot of that is on kind of us, and you know the fact that you're talking about that you said earlier in the facts of the week when you said about the number of hours that are wasted trying to chase money.
Yeah,
I would say that's a fraction in a year of what it actually takes. There's no way it only takes that long. Would be my experience, and it just is a faff. So to have that kind of, and it sounds really silly because this is something it's not new. This is not new technology. It's something that's been around for a long time. But I guess when you're growing and when the things are okay, it's just we've historically just kind of sat on that and been like, it's okay, it works for now. And I've talked openly in the past about trying to make sure that we're set up as the business that we want to be, as opposed to being the one that kind of worked 6 months ago and just about works now. And I think that is the biggest win and the biggest change in our thinking across the last 6 to 8 weeks, is that we've done lots and lots of things, including this one, which means that we are giving ourselves the best shot to get the growth.
I think it makes a huge difference improving stuff like that. And I think going back to the people not getting paid, I think the people that don't get paid on time typically are businesses that don't manage it very well. I think Xero is a good system and process that you can send the email automatically. You can then send a reminder 5 days before the due date. Then you can send a demand on the due date. And then you can have it so that there's like views in Xero where you can see the invoices that are overdue, and then your bookkeeper or your financial controller or your credit controller can be picking up the phone to the customer and saying, hey, just a quick call. You've not paid your invoice. It was due for payment yesterday. Please, can you make payment today? I can take the payment over the phone if you want. But just to remind you of our terms and conditions, we're going to start charging you interest, because you don't want those shitty businesses.
No, I would totally agree. I would totally agree with what you said as well. That's not just a thought. I would concur. Like it is on us for sure. And I felt like that for a while. That actually, you can't. You can only blame yourself, really, I think, for that sort of thing, because it is about being organised, it is about being efficient, it is about being relentless. But you also need to be really, really consistent with what you're asking month to month. And I think sometimes because of the way it needs someone to step in and to action something in order to chase, actually, those inconsistencies lead to people thinking, well, it's okay. They might not chase for a few more weeks yet. We know kind of how this works. And we all think and feel it. So, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. What's my win of the week, Charlie?
Yes, please. I want to know what your win of the week is, Matt.
Mine's personal development related again. Last week it was a little bit to do with balance and stuff. This week I'm really proud of what I've achieved the last 4 or 5 weeks. I've lost a little bit of weight. I feel healthy. I've been stretching. I think from a personal development perspective, I've really prioritised my health, and I'm really happy to say that I've successfully done what I wanted to do coming out here, like was to have a bit of better balance. But particularly, I mean, I've still been working, still been grinding stuff out, and I've achieved some good things with the business while I've been away, but I feel healthier, a bit of sunshine. It's been good. So that's my win, is a bit of, I think, a health boost. I think, create some really good habits.
I want to make a note of this and revisit it when you get back in country.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it'd be important to then just like look at your wins of the week as you move like through September and into October.
Yeah.
To see that, is your thinking the same? Are you talking about the same sort of wins? Are you still prioritising those sorts of things and how you're feeling? I think we really should make a note on that, because it'd be interesting to see what the effect of being back on farm, in country, in business would be. For sure.
But this is something that me and Amy have discussed, is how can we manage this healthier lifestyle when we get back to the UK, and she and I were a little bit kind of apprehensive and worried, saying, how are we going to do this when Amy's back working full time and there's more stuff going on, the kids have got the activities. But it comes, and I said this to her, I think it just comes down to discipline, and it comes down to everyone has got idle time where they start scrolling on the phone. Just go on your phone and look at screen time and look how many hours. I mean, if you pull it up now, I'd be fascinated. Are you willing to do that?
Me? We want to see my screen time.
Yeah, pull up your screen time and let us know how many hours you spent on Instagram yesterday. But I definitely probably spend an hour every other day on it, 100%, just idle scrolling in between things. And the point being is that I think we've all got capacity to do a little bit more, and that's what I'm going to hold myself to account on, is making sure that I'm utilising that idle time during the day, focusing on the work stuff, and then in the PM, prepping food a little bit more, eating cleaner, eating healthier. We've basically cut out all processed food. The kids haven't been eating cereal. We've been having like salad every day. It's just been great. It's been good. And it was just the boost we needed as a family, I think. So, yeah. I think for people listening, entrepreneurship, like it has a massive gravitational pull in your life. And I think you can still be all over it, which is what I've kind of been this break. But I have taken the time, or found the time, to prioritise my health a little bit more. So I need to make sure I continue it when I get back. Charlie doesn't know how to find his screen time.
Yeah, I got it.
Go on.
What do you want to know, the week or the daily average?
Just the daily average.
Daily average, 4 hours, 59 minutes.
What about Instagram specifically?
2 hours, 14 minutes.
On average? Fuck. Well, it'd be interesting to hear what other people's screen time is. So if you're feeling ballsy, put your Instagram time in the comments below. But I thought my 1 hour was bad. But Charlie, I mean, that's despicable.
Last week I spent 7 hours, 7 minutes on Instagram.
Fucking hell. Yeah, well, this is the problem with modern society, isn't it? We've got so many distractions that give you the little dopamine hits, and you end up then getting pulled into that time wasting exercises.
I'm actually pretty pleased with that, to be honest with you. That ain't too bad.
Right, okay.
We posted a lot of content last week. Been on the Edits app and stuff like that, doing loads of bits and bobs.
Yeah, so some of that's productive, I suppose.
Trouble I spend most of my time on there because people are messaging me. I've got WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, people trying to monitor those myself.
I wasn't talking specifically your phone, but more the social apps. That
absolutely.
For me, Instagram, I don't really go on it for business, but I go on it just for, I don't know, a bit of brain rot.
Yeah, a bit of brain rot. But I think sometimes you need that as well, though, mate. That's what it's all about, balance.
I think you do, but it has to be balanced, I think.
It does have to be balanced. You can't just get stuck. I must admit, I'm quite comfortable in the fact that I don't get stuck in a complete and utter rabbit hole of just scrolling and looking at shite.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do when I'm looking for ideas, but I can just cut it out, put it down.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think.
So to just get back to the main topic then.
Yeah.
B2B versus D2C. I mean, I would love to own a B2B business. I think it's something I'd like to do. I looked at a business that was selling ratchet straps. They were manufacturing ratchet straps last year, and I was like mega into it. It was fascinating. And they were actually using factor finance. And I was like, well, that's an immediate, when I was looking at the P&L, that's an immediate thing that just straight away drops to the bottom line, because we can just add cash in and fix that straight immediately. So yeah, it's definitely on my roadmap to do something like that, or maybe like a nursery, not as in a kid's nursery, as in a garden centre nursery where you're growing plants and wholesaling it partially because we've got land. So that'd be something cool to do. Get some polytunnels up. But yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on B2B versus D2C? Because I think
I've been always very pro B2B.
Yeah.
Like working in retail and stuff, I know what it's like working D2C. Mm-hmm. B2B has always been, I've always liked, because of what you said earlier, the average order value, the number of times you see people during a year, from the repeat perspective, only dealing with one person for said amount of money each year is great. Yeah. It's a lot easier to build a relationship with an individual or group or a small group of individuals, so that relationship is far easier to manage. But also, they also understand some of the struggles that you face. Far greater, I think, because and they're more appreciative of the communication. So I mean, we get it with like school uniform and stuff. The school uniform, the way people approach us about the school uniform is far different to the way someone will approach us about trying to buy some kit for their team. Particularly in the manner of the communication.
Be specific.
Well, I mean, a phone call from someone saying, I ordered my school jumper 2 weeks ago and you've not done that and you've taken the money, instead of, hello Charlie, how are you? I'm well, thanks. How are you? No problem. I've just double checking that you got the order that we placed last week for the 5 jumpers. Yep, I've got that. I'm really sorry I didn't get back to you. I forgot to. I have had a mare with the emails. It didn't auto generate the confirmation. Not a problem. It'll be with you in probably about 4 days from now. Lovely jubbly. Thanks, Charlie. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with any of those points. And I think, I mean, I know very well, although there's a barrier, there's like my ops manager and then my customer service manager between me, and then there's the customer service staff and team between me and the consumer. The only time I really see or hear the really bad stuff now is the Trustpilot reviews, if we get a bad one, which we do get, unfortunately. Like, things don't go right. With the number of transactions that we're dealing with, things are going to fall through, and things are going to fail, whatever it may be. But also, I think when a business is calling you, or at least my understanding or interpretation of what you're saying there, if a business is calling you, they're generally a bit more respectful and appreciative because they understand your position, but they also, their reputation is on the line and they know that you speak to a lot of other business owners. So I think they're just a bit more polite and respectful. The general consumer, we're just getting a bit of feedback on your mic, mate. The general I can hear myself.
That's so annoying, isn't it?
Oh dear.
I could only hear you once.
It's just, I think your headset when it gets a bit close to the mic. But basically, I've lost my train of thought there.
You saying your understanding of business, the general consumer. You were talking about the general consumer.
I think they tend to take their shit lives out on businesses sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
You get customers who want to kick off and have a moan, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, it doesn't need it, does it?
They're like being abusive to staff and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, it doesn't need it.
Just unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't need it, but it does happen. It does happen regularly. That being said, there's something in me that thinks that a balance of the two is quite a good place to be.
Yeah, I think
because the downside you've got with this being a B2B business is you're solely reliant on their, and I know there are a lot to deal with, but businesses come and go. People, decision makers that are responsible for those things come and go. Which means you're constantly trying to, you're almost borrowing a customer all the time anyway, which is again similar to selling direct to a consumer, right? You feel slightly more secure, but ultimately you're not, because things change and people change and opinions change, and the direction of travel that they want to go on change. But you're also relying on them growing and them doing really, really well in their business. So, for example, all of a sudden we stop building. Well, and you're leveraged to the high hilts with building firms and big building firms that spend a lot of money on PPE and spend a lot of money on this, that, and the other. Then ultimately you are dictated to by kind of other trading conditions, I think, as well. The only kind of out on that, and the positive you've got if you flip it on the other side, is that you can dilute that by looking at other sectors and other industries and making sure that you kind of are amalgamated with a few as opposed to just being reliant on one. So which is why, kind of like from a B2B perspective, I've never been that keen on just niching down. And I know that there are, people say there's riches and niches. But that's not kind of a luxury we've ever been really afforded, and one that also worries me a little bit, if you know what I mean.
I think there is riches and niches. I agree with you. I think some level of diversification is important, but it's more about product offering. So you can be within a niche space, but your product offering can be wide and diverse for that niche space. And like price points, colorways, whatever it might be when I'm thinking about our products. So like if you look at our fleece gilet collection on our country clothing website, there's like 100 different fleece gilets that we sell. Well, the reason for that is so that the customer, like literally every fleece gilet, apart from I think the Shuffle fleece gilet, we stock. Like, so they can't really not buy from us, if that makes sense. Every customer that's looking for a fleece gilet, they can buy it from us. Whereas if we hadn't done that product expansion, I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to both, I suppose.
There is, isn't there? There is.
Which
There
is
definitely
kind
is,
of,
because from a cash perspective, you'd much rather be doing D2C, would you not?
D2C. I mean, well, there's direct to consumer brands, which is even harder. Like, so direct to consumer brands where you've got to cash flow buying the stock.
Oh yeah.
So you've got to put the money down on the deposit. Factory makes it, then you pay for it before it even gets delivered into you, and then you've got to sell it. That's fucking hard.
Yeah, that's scary shit.
I think that's one of the hardest models.
That scares the shit out of me, that one.
Whereas you and I, to a certain extent, we're operating a similar model where, yes, you're giving credit to your customers, but actually, when you place the order with your supplier, you should be getting 30 or 60-day terms. So actually, your model's similar to my just-in-time model to a certain degree. Or, no, it's not the same as mine, because mine, customer pays for stock.
Then you order it, then you get
Then I order it. We then pay for it 60 days later. So it's like super cash generative. And interestingly, as our revenue starts to shoot up the next few months, our cash explodes because we're collecting the revenue in the month and then we're not paying for it for 60 days. Although we have had about, I think it's the best part of 2 million quid's worth of forward orders land in the last, or over the last 30 days and the next 30 days, we've got that amount of stock arriving. It's just fucking astronomical. But we get terms with the suppliers and what have you.
Well, it's interesting because this is coming up in a future episode. This links very, very well, I think.
Right, interestingly. Okay,
so
cool.
Don't go into too much detail.
Yeah. Should we do? Is there anything else you'd add?
No, I think from my perspective, it's always been great working as a B2B supplier. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it makes me feel a lot more comfortable day to day, for sure. Comfortable, is that a bad word? Comfortable.
I don't think comfortable is a bad word.
No, I just think, because it can be portrayed as make it as easy, can't it? It's never easy. But it's a lot easier to have like meaningful conversation, develop great relationships. It's easier to kind of like want to help and want to try and better the position of your customers, and it's just a better place to be. I think it's a good place to be. I like it.
I sometimes think B2B businesses are lazy in acquiring customers. In fact, I'm going to make that argument quite strongly. I think a lot of B2B businesses are lazy.
I agree.
Because they acquire a few good customers slowly over time, and then they don't tend to. I've just had a message off someone that's made me laugh. They don't. Well, it's Paul from Dispatch Bros. I had a bit of a back and forth with him about wellness sauna and cold plunges, and I was like, I'd love to buy one. He's just sent me a message about something. But, like one of those wellness things where
I think that'd be great.
It's fucking great business, mate. Like I these rented saunas where you just go and book a session. Fantastic business. Low labour cost, etc., etc. Anyway, what were we saying? Fucking hell.
I don't know.
Sorry. What I was saying was, I think B2B business owners can be quite lazy.
Oh, I agree.
Let me finish my point, Charlie.
Sorry.
They don't put the work in to win customers, whereas direct to consumer, and I would say the B2B businesses, typically more of them have got that kind of like almost the customers are returning and it's semi-predictable. Whereas direct to consumer, like we have to win customers every single day via ads, via retention. I think that's quite a hard business setup, and you've got to put effort in. Like I have regular calls with our pay-per-click guys. Like, yeah,
I would totally agree, because I think that's one of my biggest learnings over the last 12 months is that we've been lazy.
not been aggressive enough finding new customers.
I wasn't necessarily referring to you.
No, but I've said that to you. I have said that to you.
I think I'd be interested if you were to take 2 hours away from the business, you and Tom go for lunch somewhere, and you literally just focus the lunch conversation on how we're going to win more customers and just writing down ideas. If you took 2 hours out of the business today, get to the business and just get tall, grab him by the shoulders and say, right, you're coming with me, mate. Go Mackey's, get yourself a Big Mac each, sit down and go, right, let's work out some ways to win and acquire some new customers. You guarantee, I'm not saying you're lazy, but I think you're one of the better ones, but there's a lot of B2B businesses that I know that I'm just like, that's fucking pitiful.
You can definitely do more. We've already had those conversations.
Low hanging fruit, mate. Clause question of the week.
Talk to me.
Oh dear. If you had to give up half your customers tomorrow and keep only one type, would you keep the businesses or the public? And what would you lose by doing it? So I can answer that question. Actually, we both can, because you've got the back to school stuff and you've got the B2B stuff.
Yeah.
We've got 98% direct to consumer and large customer orders. Do you want to answer it first?
Yeah. just give up all the schools.
Yeah. I've heard there's some legislation coming in for schoolwear where you can only have 3 branded items or something.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of schools anyway, and to be honest with you, it wasn't something that I was really that attracted to. It's something that's kind of that we've almost been asked to do and have been willing to do, just as a little shake up of that whole industry, really, because particularly around our way, if anyone has a look, there's a lot of schools around you. There is a lot of schools. There's a lot of academies now. There's a lot of big budgets, and there's a lot of things that people are doing. But obviously, we deal with the parents. But I think the parents get a rough time half the time, because the schools are kind of like quite often tailored into this whole, you have to buy X of these, and if they do them on like a drawdown, and they have to be forward ordered, and we don't really do these. If it's out of stock, you might have to wait for an awful lot of time. Whereas we've been doing all of ours just basically as we would normally do, with a set amount of lead time. We've got someone that runs the school sites. We just get the customer order, the stock arrives, or we've got some stock. We get it ready for the customer, and we allow them to come and collect it locally. So we offer a home delivery or a local collection, and we basically try to save people a bit of money on their school uniform. But yeah, the new legislation around it is basically restricting the number of items that schools are allowed to ask people to have logoed. But the schools have been doing well on that for a long time. I think on the whole, I always speak from my experience at Finley's primary school, you haven't got to have anything that's got a badge on it.
That's good.
You just need a green jumper and a white t-shirt. They don't. Yeah. They've even been as sensible, which I couldn't believe it when I sat in the meeting to start off with, to say, we don't require you to have like a leather pair of shoes. You can wear a pair of all black trainers. So the thing about a pair of black leather shoes is they're good for classroom, for crap, that rubbish for outdoors, whereas a pair of trainers can be worn outdoors and worn inside. So why would we not? And I'm like, finally, so you've been fighting that for schools have been fighting that for 20, as long as I remember.
I do think, and just to comment on that, I think young kids having a smart uniform to go to school, and I think it is important. I agree. I think it instills the right things into a child. But
it doesn't have to be everything, does it? It doesn't have to be this. It have to be that. It can just be, we have a nice pair of grey trousers, we all wear a white polo shirt, and we wear a bottle green jumper or a cardigan, and that's what school dresses for the girls, etc.
Yeah, most of our kids' school uniform we've bought from the Disley thrift shop, where the charity shop in the village, like kids second-hand school uniforms.
Ours around here do a fantastic job of that.
Yeah.
We've been to school open evenings where we've allowed people to try jumpers on, so that people aren't ordering the wrong sizes, so that they can bring their children to it. They can try them on, then they can order. They can scan the QR code and order there and then. We prepare them. We've let people swap it over for nothing. If it doesn't quite fit, you can go for a different size. We've been really accommodating for that. And I think that you can, and whilst we've been doing that, people have been selling second-hand uniform next to us, and that's bloody great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's annoying that there's all these items that just end up becoming throwaway, but
Yeah.
Ours will have to be thrown away because Finley ruins them.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can wash spag bowl out of a white polo shirt in there.
Dribble and snot. Oh dear. Right.
What would you do?
Well,
You haven't answered the question.
Yeah, I would stick to what I know. So I would stick to lots of customers, and I would just fuck off any business customers. But obviously, we're on the roadmap for us is this offshoring business where we're going to offer offshoring to other UK businesses. I'll probably end up hiring a sales guy and an account manager. Like, we're probably going to invest in that and scale it. You want the job?
Well, it'll pay better than mine now, I suspect.
I don't know. I negotiate very hard with.
Depends if you've done right.
Yeah. Oh, framing. I like it. Yeah, I think I'd stick to what I know. Riches and niches, direct to consumer. I understand the consumer. I know what I'm doing with ads, etc., etc. So, yeah. Right. I'll see you on the next one.
Great to chat, mate.
Thanks for listening, guys. Really appreciate it. Make sure you're following us. You're giving us a rating on the old Spotify, all the rest of that.
Oh, just on one before we go.
Oh, here we go. Go on.
Just a shout out to Gareth from NC Recovery. He popped into our place yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, he came into our place yesterday looking for some bits and bobs for his business, some clothing. And he was like, I listened to your podcast, really like it. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He said, I said, well, you haven't commented on Spotify.
Yeah, fucking wanker.
He said, no. He said, no. He said, I watch it on YouTube. He said, well, he's got a 2-year-old. He said, when the 2-year-old goes, as a nap or goes to sleep, he said, for some reason, he likes some chatting in the background. He says, so he watches podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, that's class.
That is nice, isn't it? I think we've got some good listeners out there.
Yeah, we have.
We have. Yeah,
and it was really nice. It was really nice to listen to, like, someone come in and say that they're also taking control of their own personal development as well by spending time listening to podcasts. Not necessarily ours, because I don't think, we ain't the oracles, are we? We're just sharing some kind of life experience, opinions, yeah. But just doing that in your spare time, listening to podcasts, reading, whatever it might be, it's just nice to see more and more people doing it, to be honest with you.
Well, why the fuck would you want to stay the same?
I don't know.
You need to grow. You need to grow your business. You need to grow as a person. Like, otherwise, what is the point in fucking existing? I think
growing as a person is more important than growing the business, to be honest.
Well, for your business to grow, you need to grow as a person.
Yeah,
but business development, personal development, like, anyone that's not into that kind of stuff, just like, fuck off.
I know.
Just like, get a fucking grip on life and what have you.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to not grow your business and earn more money so you can do great things with your kids and all the fucking rest of it? But anyway, mate, right.
Ciao for now.
Later. We need an outro. You need to do an outro, Charlie. Right, goodbye. Mate. Bye.